Hello, all, and welcome back to HighPriest Reacts to TTS Top 20 Primarchs Vox-Logs. With one hosted very clearly by one of the Pillar Stodas, who I can't remember what the name associated with him is, but I don't remember the character because there are only three of them, and one of them got yeeted into well, only three of them I know of, but yeeted into a parallel universe apparently.
Favorite Primarchs, yeah. That's good. From worst to greatest. Now, please, I know you and the emissaries might try and quote-unquote fact-check me into one of the dark cells, but please, keep your judgment as you do your figure concealed. This is not my opinion,
I love the fact that we've solely been giving these guys actual characters beyond, or they have solely, not we.
Here we go.
Have solely given these guys character more than just aroused snickering. Skipping 20 and 19 for obvious reasons.
Toxic, ghoulish, scrawny for a Primarch, and no, ew, absolute ew. Scrawny and Primarch are words that should be kept as far away as a novel series worth of text from each other at all times. Much less be used within the very same sentence. And yet Conrad curses this reality by making this description apt. Hate. As far as
I just don't know what I'm expecting with this, but it's fun.
That's like a normal dying to worms. It could certainly occur, but it is so earth-shatteringly embarrassing, it can simply not be spoken of. That being said, I am glad he is dead, for he was a spiteful bastard who would probably have my eyes turned to soup if ever he heard this.
Yeah, probably a good idea there. Like, we know what that one Primarch, not Custodes would put on top of his list.
One of my greatest charges as caretaker. I am the one who has to make sure that our Emperor, stasis-bound as he is kept sterile, without corruption, within and without. So with this in mind, the very idea of Mortarion causes me great discomfort.
Oh yes, he of the disease. Or at least the Primarch of disease.
I pray it does not happen. I will fight to have him pressure washed with Titan cleaning agents or Prometheum.
Oh god.
Even being allowed in the system.
I'm not remembering those fucking idol videos. The 40k idol videos. Prometheum love. Those were silly videos. I did enjoy watching them, but they were.
Yes, I am aware. Casting Perturabo in the ditch and shitting on him is exactly what everyone, including his entire family, has done since the beginning of time. He is not exactly a popular pick. In fact, if every other Primarch are the picks of the litter, he'd probably be the litter. As in, litter as in trash, garbage. And that is exactly the reason behind me putting...
Yeah, of course we're starting with the unredeemed trainer Primarchs, but I'm curious where, say, Magnus fits on the list.
Acts like garbage, so justified?
Yeah.
There is some kind of causality dilemma here, though. Like,
yeah.
Is he treated like garbage because he is garbage?
From what I understand, and I'm remembering of a good old Pert.
Is he the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Sort of
he's garbage, he's treated like garbage. Is he because he's garbage, or is he garbage because he's treated like garbage?
Hybrid thing. I don't know, but garbage is garbage. And
I wonder how much of this is fucking improvised.
Number 15, Alfarius Omegon.
Of course.
I know some enjoy the mysterious type, but honestly...
The twins.
bit too much these ones. Whatever. I'm not much for charging into the fray without thought. I wish to assess my targets before engaging as much as any of the 10,000. No whether I have them, my targets. With this context in mind, how various...
Sandor or Megon.
Even speaking to them is like...
I just find that phrasing funny. I don't know why.
Say laying oneself bare, that is mildly funny.
I'm not sure what my top 20 Primarchs would be, outside of I might have to think about it as this video goes on. Most of the traders are probably on the bottom, though, just because...
Right, so, yeah, I am aware placing a loyalist Primarch this high or low on the list. It's quite controversial, and...
Okay, yeah, well, a loyalist before other traders.
But look, fuck you! I do not condone the actions or personages of any traitor Primarch that comes...
Yeah, most of the traitor ones aren't that, interesting, me, so they'd be gotten in the bottom.
Tastes. Okay, so yeah, Corvus Corax... I'm sorry, it's like Conrad Curse, but better, which sucks, because Conrad Curse is the worst, and it is quite hard to build oneself a ladder out of the abyssal shadow cast by the Spite Haunter. Corax is alive, however.
Yeah.
And heading towards Terra right now. To him, I say...
Yeah, the road trip.
Time to build that ladder. And by build that ladder, I mean building that build. And please, get a less slimy-looking haircut.
Yeah, he was hanging out in the fucking goddamn trunk of the car. I remember.
I know.
Angsting.
He's popular. Especially with those giddy for rustic brutality. And I will give him his due credit.
Again, fairly low.
He is a woven wonder when engaged up close. But there's just so much hair. So much hair. Everywhere. One can really get a glimpse of that physique. It sits like a fir tree plantation.
What a surprising fact that most of them is on how physically attractive they are to him.
Consider attaining a brush cutter. I want to eat, not floss. Number 12, Magnus the Red. Preemptive apologies goes out to my shield brother, who's a total Magnusite, but Magnus is called a humongous nerd.
I mean, yeah, but...
So, to be entirely fair...
Yeah, I'd honestly say, Magnus is definitely higher up on my list, Not sure he'd be my favorite, but the whole humongous nerd thing is a plus in my book.
Is entirely accommodating due to his malleable presence in the material. All extremely interesting, and I would not blame anyone for buying into those selling points. I'm just not too into self-pity and like books.
Self-pity and books definitely does sum up Magnus.
Number 11, Vulcan. Everyone loves Vulcan. His empathy is like an endless ocean.
Like I said, this is probably the font of most of my knowledge of 40k. I'm familiar somewhat for other sources, but I've kind of baked out on a lot of the info.
I'm a custodian. I am a tool. And I don't know about you.
Yes. Yes, you are.
I'm aware of and accepting of that. With this, I do not believe I have the obligation, nor perhaps even the ability, to have the same level of empathy for the common folk of the Imperium.
Yeah, that was kind of fucking obvious, given the way you have acted throughout this series.
For the normals, the citizenry of the Imperium. It is not my job to care. And so it is, I don't care for Vulcan. For we have nothing in common. Also, his armor is green, and that's like my... Number 10.
Not, see, those are fine words.
Okay. So you might be surprised that the great betrayer, the one responsible for the Emperor's entombment, the one who raised our Imperium to the
Yeah.
and lit a slowly spreading fire in its place, got so high on the list.
Yeah.
And yes, that is quite inappropriate. But have you seen how fucking massive he is? Okay, that's it. Number 9.
An explanation. Just he's so hot to you that he outweighs everything.
Apostle of primordial evil, the vile snake that helped plant the seeds of the Imperium's downfall, made it so high on the list. And in addition, he's both extremely small and weak for a Primarch. He's very preachy, he's condescending.
Yeah, why?
Daddy issues and,
I mean, to be fair, most of the Primarchs have daddy issues.
Is he so high on this list? Actually, yeah, I'm sorry, this is a mistake, my apologies. Lord Gar is number 20, actually. I accidentally traded the place between Primarch 14 and 19.
Ah!
The lateral, which is significantly more respectable and substantially sized. Sorry, huge mistake. Just like Lord Gar.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that. One of the 2 forbidden Primarchs in that high on the list.
Quite violent, in an extremely over-the-top manner. It's not something I would usually go for. Honestly, it perturbs me slightly, and being...
I was not expecting the, whoops, that's a mistake. I got those swapped up.
Prometheum, that is. But somewhere...
I swear to fucking God, I cannot hear the word Prometheum without immediately flashing back to that fucking Prometheum love song.
Relate to Antron. And I feel like maybe I could fix him.
Oh no. Oh no.
And his temper could be cold.
Oh no, no, you're on the bad boy run. Oh no, man.
I feel like beneath that rugged, bloodied exterior, there is untapped potential. There's a very...
For more.
Number 7, Fulgrim. Justifying putting Fulgrim this high is incredibly hard because he is definitely not my type in most regards.
I didn't know what... I should have realized this would be hot and not list, basically. I should have realized that's what I would be getting out of a fucking Pillar Soda he's talking about the Primarchs.
It's just not my thing. But, just like how I am not necessarily a great bulging fan of a certain art form, does not mean I cannot truly, deeply appreciate a perfectly crafted piece of art within that certain art form. That's my justification, and it's not perfect. It will have to do. Number 6, Jugga.
Yeah, I don't think I could come up with this, like I said. What I do know is I'd probably place Magnus really high just because, 1, or 2, Turbo Nerd thing is... not this kind of list, but, you know, in general, what are the Primarchs you prefer, just because Magnus is, you know... one with the most interesting side stuff tied to him that I've heard about, at least. And the whole Turbo Nerd aesthetic thing. And the fact that for all his problems, he was... the whole Demon Primarch thing isn't even fully his fault. Somewhat. But, like, literally the Demon Primarch we're dealing with isn't Magnus the Unsundered. The original Magnus. It's all the worst parts of him put back together by his sons, conveniently leaving out all the parts of him that were actually loyal to the Imperium. And, like, until his planet started burning, he was perfectly willing to get executed by, you know, for what he'd done. So...
I mean, sure, he's a Primarch, and the Primarchs are mostly out of our leagues, but Sanguinius it's different. He is the succulent, forbidden fruit hanging in the garden of gilded perfection that the Emperor himself has prohibited you from ever as much as glimpsing at. That is honestly too much for me. Sanguinius might be iridescent in his splendor, but the constant threat of being unmade with even a thought of doing There's absolutely nothing at odds to him, not a thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't deal with that. Moving on. Number 4, Ferris Manus. Manus is strong, steadfast. Sure, he might not.
And I like the space Viking aesthetic, so, you know, Russ is up there. Vulcan's cool, so up there.
Makes him, in my mind, so
some of the stuff that is apparently going on with good old robot girly man lately is pretty cool, so he's up there.
Iron hands. Speaking of his actual, literal iron hands, love that for him. That gives him an edge above all other Primarchs, as far as I'm concerned, if stripped to bare essentials. 18 Primarchs in the showers on Terra. Ferris Manus is choking the shit out of them. All good. Okay, number 3, Lion L. Johnson. The Lion, as a concept,
and Dorn's got some minor appeal here and there. Yeah, that's about it, really. The rest of them aren't all that appealing. The traders are like, meh. It's mostly because the whole weird shit going on with Magnus, where, like, one of the fragments went on to be, I believe, the founder of the Grey Whatevers. That one Inquisitor-esque Adeptus chapter I can't remember the name of.
And it makes me wish to rip apart the chainmail I desperately wish I was clad in. Had Caliban yet existed, I wish I could have gone there. On a journey alongside the Lion, 2 steeds, and a Normalite bard in tow, whom we could torment for his inadequacies. Number 2, Rogel Dawn. So this is
a
slight bit awkward. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with Dawn.
Yeah.
He's present in the palace, ever guarding his father's remains, much like the rest of us. And yes,
I can see why that might raise him up to number 2 on your list. And yeah, I hadn't noticed Robot Girly Man anywhere, so we know who's on top.
to death on a whim if he honestly thought you were a flaw in the structural integrity of the palace. But that is also what I adore about him. He knows when he is right. He knows when he is wrong, and he will stand by the truth, no matter where it may lead. He is a fortress that cannot be beset. And I would love to find a life within that fortress. Okay, number 1. Rubuza Gilliman. Okay, first of all, fuck you! I know how the sayings go. I know the jokes. I know the everlasting bandwagon that is ridiculing Rubuza Gilliman and his children. I know it all. I've heard it all. It is a common thing within our ranks. But I am better than that. I am immune to your lampooning. I see Gilliman for what he truly is.
I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, he is cool.
With a godlike joy.
But I will not stop the jokes about Robot Girly Man and the leader of the Smurfs.
Best by our Imperium. He is honorable. He is just. He is noble.
Because it's fun.
He is self-aware. Which is exactly what we wish to imply.
Yeah, yeah. That is a major trait I know of. That one is, yeah.
I know he is what the Imperium needs. And when he returns, and he will, I am going to be a...
It's a pity we never got to see that covered. There's so much stuff I would have loved to see how their verse interacting with the canon stuff would have... Neat.
Our Emperor in turning this morass of incompetence back into a tidier morass that is not on fire. And that is it for my favorite Primarchs. If you have your own personal favorites list, then please do not mention it.
I'm glad we're going to at least see all the characters we know still around in some form.
Okay, that's it. Bye.
I liked... Like I said, I really liked that Magnus and Adornable, and yeah, I will keep calling him that. And, even some of the others, Kurz and Vulcan. Oh, TTS Vulcan was great. TTS Vulcan was great. And more Bro Trip. God, did Bro Trip never get finished? No, it didn't, did it? And I know the show ends on a cliffhanger. Nothing to do about it. That they've said they're not going to go back to it until Yahoo changes their fucking stance. So Game Workshop pulls its head out of its ass. But that was weird but fun. A weird but fun video. In fact, hold on. I gotta wanna. I actually wanted to go and check some of the comments. Yeah, Dorn would like being equated to a fortress. That's someone channeled what Dorn would actually say, though. I am not a fortress, oiled one. Fortresses are inanimate constructs composed of various specialized building structures, fortified with various defensive features such as perimeter walls made from durable materials. I am a person. Ah, his name is Wamodes. That's right. Thank you, people. Ah, and apparently there are, in fact, examples of Perturbo not being a dick, so it might very well have been garbage, because he was treated like garbage. Hugging, first thought of reuniting with Magnus is hugging him and not letting go. Defending Vulcan from stupid shit Fulgrim was saying. Even when he was, a full-fledged traitor, too, from another traitor. I'm now remembering Boop to Snoop. This really was a great series. It is a shame, an utter shame that it got killed like this, and on a fucking cliffhanger. Like I said, I hope the World of Darkness series goes well. I really do. Well, I'll see y'all for next one.